let's talk about Dragon Age, a series that once set the gold standard for RPGs. A franchise that gave us complex worlds, unforgettable characters, and more dilemmas that left us questioning ourselves long after the credit rolled. But lately, things haven't been the same. Dragon Age Veilguard promised a fresh take on the franchise, a bold new chapter for the series. But what did we get? A watered-down version of the Dragon Age magic. Simplified mechanics, generic storytelling, and characters that failed to inspire the same love as Alistair, Morrigan, or even Varric. The disappointment is real, and the fans are left wondering, where did things go wrong? But instead of dwelling on the now, let's rewind. Let's go back to the roots. Back to 2009 when Dragon Age Origins burst onto the scene and redefined what RPGs could be. This wasn't just a game, it was a masterpiece. And today, I'm making the case for why Origins needs a remaster. Not just to honor its legacy, but to remind us and Bioware what made Dragon Age legendary in the first place. So grab your Grey Order armor and prepare to relive the Blight, because it's time to talk about why Dragon Age Origins deserves to rise again. First, let's take a moment to remember what made Origins so special. The storytelling, unmatched. This was a world filled with political intrigue, dark magic, and moral complexity. Every choice you made mattered, not just for you but for Ferelden. And the characters, they weren't just party members. They were friends, rivals, and sometimes even enemies. Alistair's humor, Morrigan's sharp wit, and even Logain's morally grey villainy added depth to every interaction. These weren't just NPCs. They were living, breathing personalities. Then there was the world itself. From the haunting deep roads to the majestic halls of Redcliffe Castle, Ferelden felt alive. It wasn't just a backdrop, it was a character in its own right. But as much as we love Origins, we can't ignore the flaws. The graphics have aged, the combat feels clunky by today's standards, and getting it to run smoothly on modern systems can feel like battling a high dragon. And that's why it's time for a remaster. Now let's talk about the Dragon Age Veilguard. It had potential, but it stumbled in nearly every way that Origins sold. The moral dilemmas oversimplified, the characters forgettable, and the gameplay? Let's just say it felt more like an action game than an RPG. Fans were hoping for another deep story-driven adventure, and instead, they got a game that felt like it was trying to please everyone but ended up pleasing no one. The backlash was immediate, forums lit up, reviews were brutal, and longtime fans couldn't help but look back at Origins with more even appreciation. Because while Veilguard failed to capture the magic, Origins defined it. So why is now the perfect time for a Dragon Age Origin remaster? Because it's not just about nostalgia, it's about setting a standard. A remaster could show what made this franchise great and remind everyone why Dragon Age became a household name. Imagine Ferelden rebuilt with modern graphics, the Blight sweeping across a stunningly detailed landscape, darkspawn that are genuinely terrifying, and cities like Denerim brought to life in ways we've only dreamed of. Pair that with smoother combat, enhanced voice acting, and maybe even expanded storylines, and you've got a game that could rival modern RPGs. And let's talk accessibility. A remaster would fix compatibility issues, optimize the game for modern systems, and maybe even include quality of life improvements for new players who've never had the chance to experience Origins. And let's not forget the modding potential. Imagine the Origins community getting official tools to create new campaigns, characters, and stories. The possibilities are endless. Dragon Age Origins isn't just a game, it's a benchmark. It's a reminder of what happens when developers put storytelling, character depth, and world building first. And in an era where RPGs are becoming more streamlined, we need Origins now more than ever. Bioware has a chance here, not just to remaster a classic, but to rebuild trust with its fans, to show us that the spirit of Dragon Age is still alive. And after the misstep of Veilguard, this is the perfect opportunity to do just that. So what do you think? Is it time for Dragon Age Origins to get the remaster it deserves? Would you step back into Ferelden with upgraded graphics, smoother gameplay, and all the magic that made us fall in love with it in the first place? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell for more RPG content. Until next time, Grey Wardens, the Blight is calling.